Joseph, the boy with the colorful coat. A long time ago, in the land of Canaan, there lived a young boy named Joseph. Joseph was special in many ways. He was kind, smart, and loved by his father, Jacob, more than any of his other sons. In fact, Jacob loved Joseph so much that he gave him a coat full of many bright colors, a coat that sparkled like a rainbow in the sunlight. But Joseph's brothers were jealous. They didn't like that their father loved Joseph the most, and they were upset when Joseph told them about the dreams God had given him. In these dreams, Joseph saw his brothers and even his parents bowing down to him. To his brothers, this sounded impossible and a little bit like Joseph was showing off. One day, when Joseph went to check on his brothers in the fields, they saw him coming from far away. "Here comes the dreamer," they whispered angrily. They were so upset that they decided to send Joseph far away. He was taken to Egypt by a group of travelers, and soon he was far from his family. Joseph ended up in Egypt, a land full of pyramids, deserts, and mighty rivers. There he worked for a man named Potiphar, who was an important official. Even though Joseph was far from home, God was with him. Joseph worked hard, was honest, and soon Potiphar trusted him with all his important tasks. Life had its challenges. Joseph was falsely accused of something he did not do and was sent to prison. It was dark and lonely, but Joseph didn't give up. He prayed to God and stayed faithful. Even in prison, Joseph's gifts were noticed. He could understand dreams, and soon 2 of Pharaoh's helpers were brought to him, one who had served at Pharaoh's table and one who used to bake bread for him. Both had puzzling dreams, and Joseph explained them. God helped Joseph tell each person what their dreams meant. Only one of them would be free again, just as Joseph had said. Then Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had 2 troubling dreams. No one could understand them, but the helper remembered Joseph. Joseph was brought to Pharaoh, and God gave him wisdom. Joseph explained that Egypt would have 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years when there would be very little food. He suggested a plan to save food during the good years to prepare for the harder years. Pharaoh was amazed. "No one is as wise as Joseph," he said. Pharaoh made Joseph second in command over all Egypt. Joseph wore fine clothes and traveled throughout the land, making sure everyone would have food during the famine. Meanwhile, far away in Canaan, Joseph's brothers were struggling. The famine had reached their land too. They traveled to Egypt to buy grain, not knowing that the powerful man in charge of the food was their brother Joseph. Joseph recognized them at once, but he didn't reveal himself immediately. He wanted to see if his brothers had changed. After testing them a little, Joseph finally said, "I am Joseph, your brother." His brothers were surprised, but Joseph hugged them. "Don't be afraid. he said. God sent me here to save lives. What you meant for harm, God meant for good. Joseph invited his whole family to Egypt. Jacob and his sons moved there, and Joseph cared for them all. Even though he had faced jealousy, false accusations, and imprisonment, Joseph trusted God through everything. God's plan was greater than any hardship, and Joseph's faith and kindness saved many people.